And we are live.
Pairing.
Just let me turn on the microphone and we are live and you can now hear me. I keep forgetting to push buttons. What's good, y'all? It's your man DL Saint. Hope y'all had a good weekend. It's Monday. I had a good time. I was chilling. Weekends I'm free. I'm a single dad, but on weekends I'm free. My daughter's with her mom. That leaves me free to do whatever. And I didn't do much. I was resting, relaxing, reading, doing that sort of thing. Just kind of chilling. Next week I'll be in Miami. Next weekend I'm gonna go down there, try to catch up with my people down there, seeing what's going on, and enjoying the sun and fun down there and in the Dade, man, in Miami. So yeah, I hope y'all had a good weekend. I hope y'all money got off to a good start. I am live, man. I'm gonna do this. Uh, I am learning that YouTube is a lot of fun. I ain't gonna lie. I haven't had this much of a challenge, this much fun learning since I started stand up. This reminds me of those days when I first got on and was doing what I was doing. You know what I mean? Learning the ropes, getting in the trenches, seeing how things work, and meeting people, making connections, that sort of thing, which is really cool. I'm always shooting out folks, you know what I mean? Like Suzette Speaks, go over there. I think she's on tomorrow. She has a good week lined up, some good shows. So go over there and check her out at Suzette Speaks on YouTube. Needs watches, cool brother. Definitely check out his page if you're into timepieces. If you're thinking about starting maybe a watch collection or something like that, definitely want to go and check out what that brother's doing over there and how he moves. He actually put me in touch with uh, someone who has a timepiece that I've been looking for. I hope that works out. Got an email. I'm gonna respond to them and see how that goes. So yeah, shout out to you, brother. Thanks for that. Um, and everyone else who's out there, of course, Fresh and Fit, my dudes over there in Miami. Miss AK lady, what's going on? Happy Monday to you too. Thanks for coming out. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and kick off this Monday, right? I had something else lined up. There's a couple show ideas I'm trying to put together, trying to make happen, but scheduling is a big thing. I'm always trying to get folks to join me, and is you bump into scheduling difficulties. Again, it was like that in stand up. Um, I would book maybe 5 comics for a show, and sometimes things will come up. Comics can't make it, or they're doing other shows, and it goes late. And then in LA, travel is always a big thing, and traffic jams and all that. It takes you forever to get from A to B in LA. So sometimes people wouldn't be able to make it. Like, it is what it is. You will have to like deal with that. So I have a lot of experience in that world, so it doesn't bother me when people's schedules get crazy. But we do have some good shows coming up. I got a friend that I've met during my travels who's actually a rocket scientist. He was with JPO when I met him. He was doing a lot of work with NASA. I'm not sure what organization he's with now, but a really smart brother. He worked on the Mars rover program. I always get the names mixed up. It was like Opportunity and something, like it was another one. I forget the names of the rovers, but he worked on one of those projects, I know for a fact. And trying to work out a time for him to get him on and talk about all things space and exploration. And then I also want to get in and talk about possible future scenarios. Want to talk to him about the James Webb Space Telescope. Got some questions about that, and he did not work on that, but that's the guy I want to talk to about it. Like, what do scientists hope to get? What type of information they hope to get, what they hope to learn, what they hope to discover. I mean, it's kind of cool. I've always been a sci-fi kind of dude. I've always loved movies like Battlestar Galactica, Star Trek, Star Wars, like you name it. If it was anything to do with stars and all that kind of stuff, I was all into it. Anything to do with exploration, I was all into it. Space time travel, all that. So yeah, we're definitely gonna get my dude Kobe on board. He's already said he's gonna do it. We just have to work out the schedules, and I'm looking forward to that. Today we're gonna talk about a little politics, And then I want to talk about some social issues probably later on in this week. There's some things that I've been going through, not going through, but things I've noticed that I have dealt with personally. And I was talking to some friends of mine that look like me, that's kind of some who moved like me growing up, some who didn't. They, we were from different bubbles. And I would bring this up, and they were like, "That never happens to me." And I'm like, "Well, it happens to me all the time." And we're trying to figure out why. So that's coming up. And yeah, so we got some pretty good episodes coming up. I'm working on getting some. I'm a huge Formula One fan. I'm an F1 guy. I'm a Lewis Hamilton dude. Lewis is definitely having a rough start to the season this year. New car, trying to work out the kinks. So that's kind of exciting to watch. But I have reached out, and I am in touch with some F1 people. So we're gonna be able to get them on, and we could talk about that sport. It's an amazing sport, y'all. Like, it's not NASCAR. It's not just one long turn. It's not just 4 turns. It's Grand Prix racing. It's the highest level, and you're watching the top 20 drivers on planet Earth go at it. You know what I mean? And it's amazing. There's a lot of strategy involved. I mean, there's so much that goes on in that world. So I'm lucky that I was able to find some people who are into that and can explain the strategies behind it, what the sport's all about. If we're real lucky, we kind of delve into the history of it. I got a ton of questions. And again, we got that in the workings. All we're trying to do is get the schedule sorted out, which is a good thing. That's a really good thing. And yeah, I got some Second Amendment stuff coming up. Me and Jay Swans, we're going to be hitting the range here pretty soon. We're going to be filming that. I'll edit something together and put it up so y'all can see how we get down when we hit the range. And we do spend a fair amount of time staying proficient with our weapons. I suggest that that's what you do. I think that people, if you're in a state that is Second Amendment friendly, you should absolutely go out and get trained up and get your concealed carry. And that's a right, a privilege that Americans have that most people in the world don't. And yeah, I think you do yourself a disservice if you don't do that. That's just my personal opinion. There are people out there who do not like firearms. Cool, that's your thing. I ain't mad at you. Again, that's your right as an American to not like firearms. But if you are in a state where it is Second Amendment friendly, you definitely should exercise those rights, in my opinion. And if you do that, make sure you get appropriate training. You should have at least as much firearms training as law enforcement, and law enforcement has next to none. So you should at least have as much time on the range as they do. But coppers don't get a lot of time on the range. And we've talked about that, Jay Swans and I. We're working on other episodes down the line to actually look into how much training local law enforcement get. Like basically local, city, county, all the way up to state. Because I know the feds, they do a different program. But yeah, the average cop that you see walking around out here, driving around or whatever, they don't spend a lot of time at the range. They think they do. They have full faith in their training, but they have nothing to compare it to as a person who has spent a lot of time with firearms training and all that sort of stuff, training for war, that kind of thing. I know what it takes to be properly trained. So when I discovered their training, especially their firearms training, it scared me. It really scared me. I had a friend who was law enforcement. I'm not going to say what department, what city, but he was real excited because he got his qualification for assault style weapons. Like he got qualified for that, had the weapon with him. And I basically asked him like, well, you say he was having some issues with the weapon or whatever. I'm like, well, did you break it down? Did you take a look at the firing pin? Is there a firing pin there? Is the firing pin okay? And he just gave me that RCA dog look in the speaker. Like, huh? I'm like, surely you know how to break this weapon down. It's like, no, not really. So I sat there and I taught him how to field strip his AR. And the whole time I was doing that, I was shaking my head. Like, I cannot believe they gave you this weapon without teaching you how to at least field strip it. At least that. Let's just tell you how the thing works. Let's show you how to find the firing pin. Let's show you the mechanisms, what you need to clean, what you need to make sure it's free of gunk and stuff like that. No clue. They just, here you go. Here's an assault weapon. Here's some bullets. Good luck. So So yeah, we're definitely going to revisit that. So all right, let's talk about today what we want to hit on. And in the thumbnail, I put it there, like Richie Rich, that's Donald Trump. Richie Rich is going at it with the state of New York, and pretty much the city of New York. They mad. What I mean, as it is what it is. But what they're talking about is real. What they are talking about is real. So you can't, it is what it is. And so yeah, here it is. Judge finds Trump in contempt, fines him $10,000 a day. And, Trump is expected to appeal $10,000 a day. So you're in contempt of court, which you can be locked up for. They can put you in jail for contempt. I'm no legal expert. I'm not an attorney. I am not in that field. But I do know you can go to jail for contempt. And I don't, I do have some attorney friends, and maybe I'll reach out to them, maybe do a follow up on this, ask the questions about, what constitutes contempt, and what what options does the judge have, what law that is or whatever. But I know for a fact there have been reporters locked up for contempt of court because they refuse to reveal their sources, stuff like that. It is a thing. So they guess they didn't want to lock him up, but they're going to make him pay $10,000 a day under this contempt order, I guess is what it would be called. Any legal people out there, please feel free to correct me. I just thought that this was crazy. And so what's going on exactly? So the attorneys for Donald Trump say they will appeal this judge's order, right? Holding the former president in contempt for failing to provide documents as part of a civil fraud investigation into the family's business dealings headed by the state attorney general. So I'm pretty sure people have seen this, Ms. AK. At times it feels like Trump is above the law. Yeah. At times it does. Maybe he is a little bit. Maybe. We're definitely going to get into that. But and again, I would say is not just Trump is above the law, but there's certain people who seem to belong to a separate legal system. Right? There's one system for some folks. There's another system for some folks. And the barrier for entry seems to be monetary. It seems to be value. It seems to be, I'm just going to say it. There's a legal system for the have-nots, and then there's a legal system for the have-yachts. And if you go back a couple of episodes ago, I was talking about the have-nots and the have-yachts and which one I want to be. I'm going to keep it 100. I know what team I want to be a part of. So the judge ordered a fine of $10,000 each day that he remains in violation. So until the documents which are in question are surrendered by Trump's side, by Donald Trump and his people, he's going to have to pay $10,000 a day. So that's what? $70,000 a week, $300,000 a month, and about $3.65 million a year. I don't know how long that would go on. To me, that's insane, right? So, and we are under the assumption that, Donald Trump and the Donald Trump organization has that kind of money. We don't know. I mean, I don't pocket watch the guy. I'm sure there are people out there who are trying, but when you reach a certain level, you know what I mean? Like you reach a certain level, there's so many ways to move your money. There's so many things that could be done. Like your money could be under somebody else's name. It's this, that, and the third. It is what it is. And Richie Rich, he moves like a capo. He moves like the head of the family. You know what I mean? He moves like the plug. So who knows where he has money placed? Who knows? But I just think it's crazy. And one of the things that I was looking at is, again, these two systems. I mean, it seems to be these two systems of law in play here in America, and the inspector general, they're looking for specific documents. It's almost as if they know exactly what they want, like they have it already. Maybe they received it through some other avenue, and maybe that avenue in which they received these documents makes the document themselves inadmissible to the court, right? So they're like, okay, we're looking for the smoking gun. I've seen the smoking gun. Somebody already sent me a batch, right? They sent me a link, they sent me an email, or they just dropped off a box, and we went through the box, and they kind of tell you, yeah, go through the box, look in this section, and you'll find what you need, and you pull it out, this piece of paper, and it's like, oh, here's the smoking gun. Right? And all this revolves around Donald Trump and or the Trump organization fudging numbers. So what they would do is, when they wanted to get a loan from a bank, let's say they're trying to get whatever, hundreds of millions of dollars or whatever they're trying to get from a bank, and they want a loan, they would inflate the amount of revenue they're making. They would inflate the value of their properties and this, that, and the third to make themselves look like a better candidate for this loan. And then when it's time to pay taxes, they would deflate those same numbers. So so you got a property here that you tell the bank is worth $100 million, but you tell the government, the tax man, that it's only worth $10 million. Something to that effect. So, and this is something that's been going on apparently for over 30 years, maybe longer. This is just the way that Richie Rich gets down. And he might not be the only one. I'm pretty sure he's not. So there are loopholes out there, as we all know. There are people that, if you make enough money, you can hire the right people that know these loopholes, and they can save you a ton of money in taxes, and it's legal to use them. Absolutely. You know what I mean? If I can afford to pay a top-notch CPA to do my paperwork, and then every year I know that at least I don't owe the government, that's a win. If you get money back, that's icing on the cake. But there are people who, they just blow through the line. Like there's one thing to stay in the gray. There's quite another to break through the gray and just start outright doing things that may or may not be legal. Right? Once you leave the gray, now you into, is it legal? Is it not legal? It's one of them kind of things. So that's where Donald Trump finds himself right now. That's where he finds himself. So, and I'm not going to sit here and just read it. I'm just kind of looking for some bullet points that we could talk about. And they talk about the New York Attorney General, who's a Democrat. Now, mind you, there's a lot of politics involved in this. She's a Democrat. And she asked the court to hold Trump in contempt after he missed a March 31st court-imposed deadline to turn over documents. The judge said a contempt filing was appropriate because Trump and his lawyers hadn't shown that they had conducted a proper search for the records sought by the subpoena. So, and then of course, the attorney, was it the attorney general? Yeah, the New York Attorney General said after the hearing, for years Donald Trump has tried to evade the law and stop our lawful investigation into him and his company's financial dealings. Today's ruling made clear no one is above the law. And that's the political side of it. You dig? That's the political side. So, and there's always going to be that play. AK Blue _34, welcome. I don't believe you've stopped in before. Thanks for stopping in. You people need to stop complaining about Trump and fix your own problems. Okay, thanks for that opinion. You people, strong words. I don't know what you mean by that. You might want to go ahead and take a moment to explain what you mean by that, you people. You know what I mean? Do you mean paratroopers? Do you mean you American patriots who have put your life on the line for America and the Constitution? Because that's me. That's what I've done. I'm airborne, baby, 100%. Right? I'll bring it to you because I'm trained by the best. Or do you mean people on the left? Are you assuming because I'm having this discussion that I am anti-Trump? Is that, I mean, so go ahead and clean that up for me, AK Blue. Let me know what you think. You know what I mean? Don't be one of those, you know what I mean, computer warriors, sit behind your computer, you know what I mean, saying big things. You know, this is me. Here I am. This is me. I'm in Tampa. This is me. You feel me? So let me know. I mean, I'm curious. And again, I appreciate the input. I really do. And I believe that you people is referring to maybe a political thing. You might think I lean one side or the other. And we can absolutely have that conversation. I have no problem telling you where I stand in all this, and we're definitely going to get to it. And you need to fix your own problems. I ain't got any problems, player. But yeah, let me know, AK Blue. And Ozzy was good, right? Well, he was only a president. And then we just kind of we're going to keep going through here. Blacks. Okay, AK Blue. You're starting to sound like you want to take this to a low place, which is fine. Again, I believe in freedom of speech. I put my life on the line so you can say whatever you want to say behind whatever name you want to use. But again, I'm showing you who I am. You feel me? And like I said, man, it's cool. We're going to get into more about what's going on with Trump. This is going to be a little higher IQ, so I'm going to need you to think. You know what I mean? Like, do me a favor, sit back, hold off on the black and white thing for a hot second. You can always get back to that. That's something you can always do, right? You can always do that. So, and then like you're saying, you're always blaming Trump for your problems. I don't blame Trump for any of my problems because I'm closer to Trump. When you look at the social economic ladder or whatever, look at me, I'm retired. I'm closer to that spectrum. I'm closer to the have yachts than I am to the have nots, but I still have a lot of way to go. And then blacks and libs, again, you might be jumping the gun just a little bit. So I would encourage you to sit back and listen to what I have to say. Again, and then like make it through the end of the show, and then you can really throw in all of the racial stuff that you want. It's cool. Like again, I believe in freedom of speech, but I would encourage you to also do me a solid, right? Shoot me a link to where I can see you, because it's real easy, you feel me, to come across with all the negativity when I can't see you. You did. I'm just saying. But like I said, I bet you if you and I had a regular conversation that we would agree on 80%. You know what I mean? We would definitely agree. If you really sit down and talk to me about my politics, it'll be eye-opening. I promise you that. I promise you that. So, and again, thank you for taking the time to stop in here and holler at me. You know what I mean? Because blacks and libs, yeah, I got stuff I want to say about blacks and libs myself. The blacks and the liberals, as well as the other side. You know what I mean? There's some wildness going on the other side, but this ain't a beat up on Trump thing. We gonna delve into this. There's a method to my madness. So hang in there with me, AK Blue. It's amazing how much money he was able to borrow without proper verification of assets. As a commercial lender, and I'm a commercial lender. And I would never sign off on a loan that size without full due diligence. That's my Miss AKA lady. I feel you on that, but I don't know. I mean, is there a different criteria when you're dealing with people in that tier, as opposed to someone from the bottom tiers? So that's good. We might circle back to that. I served too. I fought for you people. I think you meant to have a better life, and y'all messing it up. You fought too. What branch? What unit? Sound like a leg to me, bro. If you was in the Army, I'm hearing you, but you sounded like you sounded like one of those guys that was sitting around in the rear with the gear doing a whole lot of typing and then going out to the bar talking about how tough it is to be a soldier. You don't sound like you've been down range, bro. That's all I'm saying. If you're a dude, you could be a female. So like I said, man, let me know who you are. Right? Let me know. You know what I mean? Because like I said, dude, especially if you served. Especially if you serve. I'm absolutely 100% behind whatever it is you got to say. I want to hear it. But I'm going to have to vet you, player. I'm going to have to vet you. Like, what unit? What branch? Let's start there. Just tell me what branch. What branch? And the Eagle Scouts don't count. So, and I got the DL ain't no lib, right? They don't know me, player. Like I said, they see the clickbait. And that's how clickbait works. I did that for a reason. I want to get all sides in this conversation. We want to talk about Richie Rich. You know what I mean? I want to talk about, and lay off, bro. Like, yeah, I want to see. You know what I mean? Trump did more for this country and you people than any president in history. I don't know about that. He did do some good things. I ain't gonna lie to you. He did a couple good things. You know what I mean? When what's her name? Kardashian. When Kim Kardashian came in, and he was open to looking at prison reform. That was pretty good. You know what I mean? That was pretty good. When it came to his tax cuts, that did help me. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't know about people on the other side, you know what I mean, financially speaking, but it definitely helped me. It definitely helped the Dave Chappelle's of the world. It definitely helped people who are in a different tier. But yeah, Act Blue again. Bravo Company 275. Hold on. I'm gonna get down there. Give me a second. Kennard, just passing to give it a like. Thank you, brother. Doing your thing, DL. I have to catch the replay. Thanks, bro. Please do. And appreciate the love. Miss AK Lady, there has to be a different lending procedure in private banking, but there are always different rules for big revenue. Yeah, that makes sense to me. That definitely makes sense to me. And then you got Bravo Company 275. Where'd you serve? I was Fort Bragg, man. I was 18th Airborne, under 18th Airborne Corps, 18th Aviation Brigade, Bravo Company, 1st to 58. You know what I mean? Airborne. So air traffic controllers, United States Army, right? Desert Storm. I was on Tap Line Road, just outside of Rafa. You know what I mean? We did a whole bunch of good stuff. Some of the stuff I still can't tell you exactly what we did, but we did it. You feel me? So you still haven't told me a branch. I'm seeing numbers. You know, I'm seeing numbers. Do I even vote? I do vote, but I spent the past 25 years in California, so that vote didn't count, right? Just like it just didn't matter. You know what I mean? It really doesn't matter. That is just dark blue. And the things that goes on in California was like different. California politics is way different. And I'm from Ohio originally. Yes. So when I was in Ohio, I voted. I was very active politically. And I learned a lot. I learned a whole lot. And I understand about the smoke and mirrors. And part of the smoke and mirrors is like right here. Super responded. So, you know what I mean? So Ranger. Still. I mean, all the Rangers that I know and all the Rangers that I served with had no problem showing their faces, bro. Now we got to get into the real man stuff, right? What are you doing? You're making up a name. You're hiding behind that. You feel me? Like, you know what I mean? Hit me on Instagram. It's Don_Lewis.comedy. Don_Lewis.comedy. Hit me up, Ranger. Hit me up. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk. Let's talk real, because there's an episode coming up that I would definitely love to hear your opinion on. And it's about America. It's about the current state of America. And I'm definitely looking for those who serve. Now, again, you talk the talk, brother, but I'm not quite sure you walk the walk. Army, you don't know about the 75th, then fake as hell. I just said it. 75th Ranger Battalion, bro. I know what you're talking about. As soon as you said that, I said it. Right? As soon as you said that, you were probably sitting there trying to type it out as I was saying, okay, you Ranger. I hear you. Right? I mean, like I said, I was at Bragg. And if you in the 75th Ranger Battalion, you were at Bragg too. Right? So that's one of those things, bro. Like it's not about being fake. Ain't nothing here, but it is what it is right here, brother. You know what I mean? So, and again, I welcome the opportunity. Hit me up on my Instagram, bro. I'm not going to dox you or anything like that. I just want to see you, right? That's it. That's all I want to say. I'm a Pogue, air traffic control. I'm a Pogue now, bro. 93 Charlie, man. 4 slots. It was four slots per platoon. I was on the TAC team. Ain't no Pogue right here, bro. You know what I mean? And I see what you're doing. And like I said, you talk the talk, brother. You talk the talk. But I've given you as much attention as I can. I got to get back to what's going on here. And again, thanks for the interaction. But I got to get back to what's going on here. But hit me up on Instagram. You know what I mean? And then, if you really want to have a discussion, bro, we can have that. We can have that. But if you just want to talk crazy, man, that's whatever. So let's get back to Trump. So here's the thing. The Attorney General wants a document. Right? They're looking for a document. And I personally believe they have the document that they're looking for. Right? I believe that. They had the document that they were looking for. But they can't use that information in court because of how they got it. So they're gonna subpoena. Trump's people are giving what they're giving. They're not seeing the document they want. And Trump's folks are just, doing what I would do. Hey man, let's run the clock. Let's run the clock on this. Let's see how far we can go before they push back hard. Right? Let's see it. Let's see how far they go before they push back hard. And so yeah. And what's going on now, and again, I think that's a good strategy, especially if you know they're not gonna lock you up. So if I find myself in contempt of court for whatever, more than likely I'm not leaving the courthouse. They're gonna take me into custody, they're gonna book me, process me. I'm gonna be sitting in a cell if I'm held in contempt. So again, you at a different status, you get to rock that. And there's money, $10,000 a day. So, and here's the thing. I think the move is brilliant. Doug, what's up? I see you in the house, brothers. Salute to you as well. I see you, brother. Thanks for coming through. Thanks for popping in. We're just having a little discussion here. So if someone like Trump can run the clock long enough, right? Because really all you got to do, let's just get 2 years. Let's get to the next election cycle. Let's get elected. And then it's back to the problems that those guys were having with Trump in the first place when he was president. It's like, really can't do anything to a sitting president. I think it's brilliant. That's a smart move. And this judge is like, okay, we've given you time to give us these, whatever it is the other side is looking for. You're in contempt. Now you're going to have to start paying. So if I'm holding the smoking gun, if I got the smoking gun and the prosecutor is telling me to give them that document that's going to get me locked up, I run the clock too. If I can afford $3.6 million a year, right? If I can afford that, I'm going to pay that. It's going to keep me free. Why wouldn't I do that? Why wouldn't I do that? Act Ozzy is like, bingo. Smart move to delay. Absolutely. That's what I would do. I'm not going to be foolish enough to give you what you're looking for. You got to find it. Right. And it's like, well, the prosecutor is like, well, I found it, but that's not admissible. You got to find it the right way. And all I got to do is buy me some time. So, but that's my whole point though. So it's like, okay, so we have these two systems, right? We got these two systems. And I ain't mad at Trump. When I see someone like Donald Trump, right? I'm not a Trump guy. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not a Trump guy, but I gotta respect the hustle. I gotta respect what he has done. I gotta respect what he is doing. You say, yeah, it's worth it. Mr. K. Lays agreeing, like, yeah, it's worth the risk. You know what I mean? I gotta respect the game. It's like when I was coming up in the streets, I'm watching dudes hustle, man. These guys out here cranking, doing their thing. They was getting it. If you can go years and years and years in the street game and not have somebody come lay you down, in other words, get robbed by other street guys, right? Not have the police or the feds come and get you because you working it clean. If you can do that, not have somebody snitch on you, Gotta respect that game. Gotta respect it 100. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm looking at. Doug, this is another witch hunt. Trump has been investigated before. He was in office during his presidency and after. If they didn't find anything by now, it isn't anything to find. That's a good point, bro, because this is political. This is political. If Trump wasn't as abrasive as he is, they would have let this go a long time ago. They would have absolutely let it go. So I agree with you 100%, bro. It is political. Absolutely. Right. And Trump knows it's political. Now, the way he's moving, I'm not sure if he's really thinking it through. I would just be chill. Like, man, let me just lay back, because it sounds to me that there is a smoking gun out there. There are some documents that can put him away. There's some documents to where he might be looking at having to sit down for a minute and do some time. Right. So if that's the case, man, I'm chilling. I'm being real calm and cool. I ain't saying nothing to nobody. I want to stay in the shadows because I want to run out that other clock. I want to run out that statute of limitations. Right. So you got a bunch of clocks going on here. But again, if you can afford to pay $3,650,000 a year to keep that clock running, I would absolutely do that. Absolutely 100% do that. So yeah, I'm looking at that and I'm like, all right. So like Andrew Tate says, man, it's the have-nots and the have-yachts, right? Trump's a have-yachter. They got yachts. So he's able to work the system into his favor. Now, I think New York is going to stay on him. I don't think New York is going to let it go. I really believe that they have something of substance. They just have to be able to get it into this process. They have to be able to get it admissible, because we know that Congress got a bunch of information from Trump via subpoenas. We know that, I think it was the Senate hearings, or it was like when Congress did it, so that they definitely was able to get this information. And I believe there was some good information in that data dump that they in turn gave to the Democratic friends in New York, i.e., whoever the big ballers are on the Democratic side in New York, and then they in turn managed to get it somehow to the powers that be, i.e., the attorney general or prosecutors or whatever. And that's where we are now. None of that stuff, of course, would be admissible. So they have to go find it. They're like, listen, it's there. It's there. Here it is. All you got to do is go get it from the organization. Needs Watches is in the house. What's good, brother? Glad you're here. He's like, what's up, chat? Salute to DL Saint. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Salute to you. Your man did hit me up, bro. I'm on it. I'm gonna hit him. I'm gonna get back to him probably tonight and talk about that. So I appreciate that, bro. I certainly do. And you know what I'm talking about. So an act for sure. The New York AG is aiming for the governor's house. Exactly. All of this is political. This is all fun and games, right? They play with people's lives all the time at every level. And I just think it's one of those things that the Trump folks didn't truly understand. Maybe he just like used to doing what he was doing. Trump has been running roughshod on folks for a long time, over 30 years. So, Doug, even if there's nothing like the Russian collusion, tying him up in court for speculation is good enough for more political dirt for 2024. Yeah. Absolutely. They're thinking about that too. Everyone knows that Trump wants another shot at the White House. I don't understand that part as much, you know what I mean? But yeah, he wants another shot at the White House. It is what it is. They're gonna do everything they can to tame him. They want, he's the boogeyman. They want the boogeyman back. You certainly know that media wants the boogeyman. No one wants Trump in office more than Fox, CNN, MSNBC, right? They want him in office because that'll bring their viewership back. That'll bring their numbers up, because they are taking a pounding, because they don't just report news anymore. It's all about, social commentary and this, that, and the third, and telling people how they should feel. All of it is messed up. Right? So that's how I look at it. So Trump is no stranger to lawsuits in the court system. He understands this. Now, I'm sure he hasn't faced too many criminal proceedings, prior to him getting in office and everything they was trying to do, with that, right? Trying to impeach and all this kind of stuff, which like is what it is. But he is no stranger to the court system and using that system to his benefit. So it's like, well, what do you mean about that? So there's another article that I will pull up for you. Just give me a second. Y'all know Uncle Saint old. So here's an article about Trump, and we'll jump up to the top to the headline there. And this is an older article. This is, before he was president. USA Today. Oh, here we go. And we lost the headline, but the headline was along the lines of, well, we'll read the first line of it. The USA Today analysis identified at least 3,500 legal actions involving Trump. Reporters reviewed thousands of pages of records collected electronically and in person from courts in 33 states over 3 months. And it's like more than they've read more than 20 hours of depositions. And they were getting into basically in this article, and I'm sorry I couldn't find the byline at the top. Let's see, I'm trying to find it now because there's a couple graphs. We just passed one there, and I'm gonna get back to that draft. But it just goes to show how Trump used the court system to help him out. So, and here it is, the exclusive Trump's 3,500 lawsuits, unprecedented for a presidential nominee. And this was USA Today, and this was back in 2016, right? So, and we all remember that, again, Trump was coming out of nowhere. It was, again, the political side. They wanted to, the blue side wanted to discredit him and do all the stuff or whatever. And it was their hopes of tainting him and all that good stuff because they didn't like him. But this graph here, Trump lawsuits by the numbers, like the USA Today network journalists identified about 3,500 state and federal court cases involving Donald Trump and the more than 500 companies on his federal financial disclosure report and previous holdings. They break down like this. The figures are rounded because the USA Today's search review of cases is ongoing. And there was saying plaintiff versus defendant. It was like 1,900 times, I guess he was the plaintiff, 1,450 times Trump and the Trump organization were defendants, 150 bankruptcy, third party, or other. It's like, yo, dude spends a lot of time in court. So, and for those people who would work with him, he would just not pay them. Like people would do things, they would be have an agreement, and he would just stop paying. He would use small to mid-sized businesses allegedly, knowing I can get this work out of them, and I just won't pay them on the back end. They'll file suit. He would settle or just drown them with legal paperwork, and then he would they would go away, right? Because if you're a small business or you're a mid-sized business and you're dealing with a whale like the Trump organization or any, like if you're trying to sue Elon Musk or you're trying to sue Jeff Bezos over something, right? And they want to keep you in court. That's where you're going to stay. You're going to stay in court. They can hire firm after firm after firm, and these firms will come and hit you and bill you and bill you and bill you, and it begins to look frivolous. And next thing you know, you're out of money. So not only are you out of the work and the money that you thought you had for that contract with, you named the have yacht person, but now you've run up these legal expenses and you can't even pay that. And you might even lose your business over it. So it's one of those things where it's a strategy. So yeah, I wouldn't use those tactics, but hey, it works. If it works, it works. It is what it is, man. Like business is cutthroat. So these watches was good, hollering at Doug. And Ozzy, he used bankruptcy a lot. We just saw it right there. He used bankruptcy a lot. It got to the point where allegedly no banks on the planet would deal with Donald J. Trump or the Trump organization because of all the bankruptcies of what he was doing. Again, nothing wrong with bankruptcy. That's one of the things that makes America great. It's very, very pro business. They want people to be able to do this sort of thing. But it was, it's just, you can overdo it. Let's just put it that way. You can overdo it. So again, I'm not a Trump guy, but I'm not a hater either. I'm looking at what he does, right? So he is used to being in court. Now this is a different type of court, and he's using the same tactics. And what happened? He just ran into a brick wall because you run into a judge, and this judge may or may not have political leanings for or against. Most judges are supposed to put that to the side, and I think a lot actually do. All you got to do is look at the Supreme Court. You get Supreme Court nominees in there, and then all of a sudden they vote a certain way according to the law, and then either people on the left or people on the right get upset because it's like you're not voting politically. The Democrats put you in, so you're supposed to side with us. And the Republicans are like, no, the Republicans, the conservatives put you in, so you're supposed to side with us. That's not how the Supreme Court works. That's not how the law is supposed to work. And when you get people who get to that point to where they have a seat on the Supreme Court, the law is their life. So, and I tip my hat to those people who take it serious. And every justice in the United States Supreme Court in the history of the country, they've had to make some tough calls. Throughout the history of the country, they had to make tough calls, and they had to make calls that went against the grain when it came to whatever affiliation politically they lean towards. But they're judges. Miss AK, because he lives in loopholes. Yeah, he lives in loopholes. I ain't mad. There's something to be said about the greatness out there. So I was reading that article, and then I read the follow-up article about all these lawsuits. And, I got to thinking, me, the have-nots, have-yachts. I'm always thinking about that. I'm always thinking about what's going on with America. But I will tell you this. I will say this. If Richie Rich, if Donald J. Trump beats New York, right? If he can get away, if he beats this case, because I'm pretty sure they got him on something having to do with, I'm sure he probably did what they have accused him of doing, and that's basically, he's saving tax money. You know what I mean? And who doesn't want to do that? But they don't like him, and they're coming after him hard. But if he beats this, I'm gonna go ahead and say it, he Teflon. If he beats this, right? Because the feds have already dropped the case coming out of Southern District of New York about some stuff about Trump and the Trump organization. They've already walked away to my understanding. That there was supposed to be an indictment pending, and I haven't read anything else about it. And then we have this. So this is state, right? And so the state is still coming after him hard. And once the feds walked away, right away I knew it. I'm like, okay, that means it's work involved. This isn't a slam dunk because the feds don't take a case they can't win. Period. They just don't. They're not going to put in the work. They're not going to do that. I mean, the feds conviction rate is way up there. I think like the 80s or 90s or something like that. And shout out to Fed at 1811. That's Myron Gaines' channel when he talks about law enforcement and his court system and all this kind of stuff, where he gives his perspective being a federal investigator, being a federal agent. He tells some good stories over there. It's pretty cool. And he really breaks it down how it works. Like how you're going to get a DA or a prosecutor, a federal prosecutor to take a case. Like he calls them prima donnas. He's like, man, they're not going to take a case unless it's open and shut. That is it. They're not taking it. If it's some work in there, they ain't going to deal with it. And the feds have already walked away from this Donald Trump thing. So that leads me to believe that it wasn't open and shut. That doesn't mean he didn't do what they say he did, but it's going to take work to get there. And now we got the state leaning on the judge, like, come on, Your Honor, they're not giving us this information. Please, they're in contempt. And then they got the judge. Judge is like, all right, here we go, $10,000 a day. Right? But if Trump beats this, I ain't gonna lie, man, you got he up there. You know what I mean? He Teflon. If he beats this, I will absolutely, I'll bow down like, all right, Trump's the man. Hell, I might even, if he runs, I might even help him run. I ain't gonna lie to you. If he beats this, I might campaign for Donald Trump. And I ain't a fan of his politics. I'm not. But I would probably campaign for him because I'm like, you know what? If this guy can beat the court system like this, then there's hope for the rest of us. Miss AK, he has already gotten away with enough to earn Teflon Don status. Hey, maybe, but this one, like this is just a little bit more. Because of the feds goes back to the earlier comment. Yeah, you're right, Doug. You're right. You're right. But if he beats this, I'm telling y'all right now, I won't wear the MAGA hat. I won't wear the clothes, but I'll be out there campaigning on. I'll be moving in on big rooms with the have yachts. I'll be in there, you know what I mean, pushing for my man Richie Rich to get 4 more years. You know what I mean, I'm telling you, if he beats this, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I'll do it. You know what I mean? I will absolutely do it. Because it's crazy. It's crazy. And I do know this. Here's the thing about like Trump supporters. You know what I mean? Trump supporters. I don't understand where they get all that zeal from. It's one of like personally, I'm looking at what he's doing and I can respect it from a standpoint, almost from a street standpoint. You feel me? Like, wow, dude big like that? That's the real plug right there. I want to holler at him. I'm gonna holler at that guy right there. Because he done beat case after case after case after case. That's the dude I'm gonna get my product from. I'm running with that team. That's how I look at Trump. It's like, man, the U.S. government is massive, right? Our political apparatus here, you know what I mean, on both sides, Republicans and Democrats, you know, conservatives and liberals, is massive. They hold a lot of pull. They got a lot of money. And if you can go in there and wreck shop and they can't do nothing to you, bro, I'm sorry, man. I gotta rock with you. You know what I mean? Act was good. The Russiagate BS was fake from the start, but this, I feel you. There is definitely something here. Is it massive? Like the whole Russiagate thing. I'm like, yo, if that really happened, right? If you really are in cahoots with Russia, man, that's a problem. That's a problem. But then again, as the information came out, like, all right, I see what they were doing. It's a stretch. You know what I mean? I saw it. I saw it. I'm like, yeah, I gotta give them that. Like, yeah, that was BS. That was BS. I ain't gonna lie. And that's the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. That's how massive they are. And they have the media. You dig? They got the media. Shout out to Fox for trying to, you know, fight for the other side. Right? But they're up against a massive army. And then you got, you know, all these media outlets, and then you got Fox. Right? Liberal, conservative. Right? Because none of the other conservative stuff gets credit. Like you don't take them serious. You know what I mean? That one network, whatever it is, all those other networks, you don't give them, you just don't even take them serious. And sometimes they'll be onto something, but you just don't take them serious. You know, so if Trump beats this, man, I'm just looking at him like, yo, I might have to get an autograph. If Trump beats this, I will definitely send him $100 to his campaign. Right? But I want to make sure I mail it in. Certified check, because I know what they do with their campaign people. Yeah, they'll have you go on that website and contribute your little $50, and you don't go all the way to the bottom, and you see that they'll be taking that money out like every 3 weeks or so or whatever. Yo, that's not cool. But hey, that's what you get. You got to read. You got to read the fine print. So that's not right. You know what I mean? And that's another thing too. People think, like, especially folks who don't have money, the have-nots look at Trump and they're like, he's like us. No, he is not. Richie Rich is not like trailer park people. Richie Rich is not like the middle class. He is not like y'all. Right? He's like Dave Chappelle said, man. Dave Chappelle, like, I have more in common with Trump than you do. Right? Because Dave Chappelle is rich. Right? Have-nots have yachts. Right? The 1%, when you break into the 1%, they don't care. I keep saying this. They don't care about your color. They don't care where you come from. They don't care. If you with them, if you break through and you with them, you with them. Right? The way you move changes because you're trying to consolidate your power. You're trying to keep your wealth to give to your lineage. That's what you're trying to do. You ain't trying to get all out of the way. It makes sense to me. So like Donald Trump, that's a guy that I probably wouldn't even want to sit down and talk to the cat for too long because of the stuff he says is just too wild, right? But if I'm in there talking to him and everybody in there know me, he's like, all right, this is a 1%er like me. So we talking. Now, would I do business with Donald Trump? Nah, I probably wouldn't. I wouldn't, not directly. Maybe indirectly, I have somebody buffered between me and him because I already know dude ain't gonna try to pay. And if I did do business with him, bro, I need that money right now. Go get it, cash or Bitcoin. We gonna do this transaction right now. I want the money up front. If I can't get the money up front, man, all right, it's cool. I ain't mad at you. I ain't dealing with you though. That's how I'll rock with him. Whereas the average Trump supporter will run up and get a last to this campaign thinking he's got my best interest in heart. He does not. He does not. And it's not like he cares about me more or less because I'm a black guy, middle class or poor. He cares about you more or less because you're a white person, middle class. The point is you're poor. The point is you ain't got the kind of money. You ain't rocking with him. So he ain't really dealing with you. He ain't gonna listen to you, right? And you can't afford to get next to him. It costs a lot of money to sit down to these powerful political people. It costs a lot of money to sit down with them. Right, you want to sit down with Barack Obama? I think the last time I checked, it was $50,000 for like 15 minutes, something like that. It might have changed since then, since he's gotten out of office, but it was up there. It was up there, $50,000 to $100,000, right? To talk to Bill Clinton. Man, this was back in 2011. I want to say 2011, right? Just to be in the room where you can shake his hand was like $2,500. And you couldn't talk to him. He just in the room, you see you shake his hand, you keep on moving. It's $2,500, right? It costs money to be around that kind of power to get up there. And that's how they vet you, right? So you sitting down at a political event and you sitting at the same table with whoever that is. If you sitting at the table with AOC or Hillary Clinton, right? If you sitting at the table with Mitch McConnell, right? If you sitting at the table with you name the powerful Republican guy, just name him. It's gonna cost. They're gonna look at you like you must be a somebody because you ain't here. And I was trying to think of, shoot, can't think of his name right now, but powerful Republican guy. I want to say out of Maine he ran against Obama and lost. Can't think of his name right now. If anybody can think of his name in the chat, let me know. Miss AK Lady, that was always confusing how low income folks felt like they related to Trump. I never understood that when I felt like the racist is what they related to. I mean, that could be it. I mean, it's absolutely it. That's absolutely it. We had the my Ranger friend that was in here earlier immediately starts, this race baiting and black and this and that. It's like, look, man, we way past that, bro. Like we way past that, bro. You know what I mean? But I hope you're still listening. I do, because I ain't gonna lie to you, especially if you're a Ranger, especially if you were in battalion. I would love to talk to you. I would absolutely buy you a drink. I ain't gonna lie to you, man, because if you really Ranger, you ain't racist like that. Like if you really been down range, you know what it is. You know what I mean? And I hope you out there for real. And thank you for your service. Even if I'm going by what you're telling me, bro. Like if you're, and I think I know who that is. I ain't gonna lie, I might have just got trolled. I ain't gonna lie. I think I might know. I'm gonna text some people here as soon as I'm done. And actors talking about, $250,000 to sit down with Obama. Yeah. For luncheon. Y'all think we lying? We're not lying, man. Go look it up. It's not like they hiding it. This is what it costs. You know what I mean? $250,000 for an Obama luncheon. You know, and yes, it was Romney. Thank you very much, Doug. See, Doug, you the man, bro. He's just the man. I could not think of it. Yeah, Mitt Romney. If you sitting at a table with Romney, he does not care what you look like. He don't care what you wearing. The fact that you're sitting at that table eating dinner at his table tells him that's somebody I'm going to talk to. And guess what? He will make it his business to come over there and shake your hand and talk to you. That's what that is, y'all. At a certain point, all that racist stuff, man, it falls off. It falls off, people. And the people that I'm talking to right now, they're active in the chat. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? It is what it is. You want to call me the N-word? Go ahead and call me that. That lets me know where you at. right? Call me what you want me to call me while I'm walking in here to holler at these powerful people. Go ahead, say what you want to say. I don't care, because I'm finna go in here and make something happen. And I got the bread to do it. You did. Smoke and mirrors at the bottom, yo. They don't care that I'm black if I'm sitting at the table. I literally have a seat at the table. Keep that in mind. And yeah, both of y'all, man. Thanks, y'all. Y'all on point, man. Y'all on point. Yeah, Doug, you the man. But yeah, y'all. I mean, so again, not a Trump guy. I'm not. It's just that grab him by the you know what, and even that smells so much of a setup to me. They were like, we couldn't get him on nothing else. We're gonna get him on this. Right. So when he walked away from that, like, I'm like, yo, did you hear what he just said? And listen, he was not joking. That's not locker room talk, y'all. That's illegal. If you do that, bro, you catching a case. That's illegal. Even if you drunk, you catching a case. Just grab him by the whoa. And look, he became president after that. I blame Hillary Clinton. Yeah, I said it. Hillary Clinton. Y'all bump Bernie Sanders out of the way. Donald Trump became president. Hillary Clinton goes down in history as the one politician who couldn't beat the guy that said grab him by the you know what. Grab him by the Foxy Brown, right? The guy who was banging porn stars, the guy who was, having affairs left and right, getting golden showers in Russia. This dude, Hillary could not beat that dude. That tells a lot about Hillary Clinton. So I blame her. Bernie Sanders would have mopped the floor with Donald Trump. Those people out there were feeling the burn. He had built such a massive following, right? And am I a Bernie Sanders guy? No. I'm not a Bernie Sanders guy. I'm not. But he would have beat Trump. Just the sheer numbers, just like Biden beat Trump. Am I a Biden guy? Absolutely not. I'm not even sure if Biden understands he's president. I don't. But he can project an image that will calm certain people. But he came in like things were kind of messed up. You look at what happened with the beer bug, right? With the sickness. And then I ain't gonna lie, I was one of those people. I was blaming the White House, not because of what they were doing and when they did it, but when it actually happened, like when it hit the shores of America, right? What bugged me was the fact that they removed the apparatus, they removed the boots on the ground in China that could have given us the great intel so we could have planned better. That was removed. And they removed it simply because the other guy did it, and that was wrong. That was wrong. But Bernie spoke to the average slant Lord. Yeah, he did. Bernie did speak to the lower classes. And guess what? He would have done most of the things that he said he was going to do. He has a passion for that. That whole socialist thing. Hey, man, say what you want about socialists, but they do tend to go and they help the downtrodden. They are the enemy of the 1%. Right? Again, I'm not a Bernie guy, but I believe he would have taken steps to do everything he said he was going to do. I really do. Miss AK. To be fair, Trump beat a ton of folks to get to Hillary. Yes, he did. I don't think Biden would have beat Trump's first run. No, he wouldn't have. But Bernie would have. I don't think Biden would have won if it was Biden Trump in that election. I agree with you. I don't think Biden would have beat him, but I think Bernie would have. Right? I think he would have. I didn't think Hillary had any shot, and it was crazy too because I was in London. So when I flew back from London, when I got off the plane, it was election night. I got off the plane. Boy, you want to talk about a brand new America. I got off the plane and I saw what happened, and I'm looking at that British Airways. Well, it was American Airlines 777. I'm looking at that 777 like, man, I wish I can get back on that plane and go back to the UK. That's what I was thinking. Like, it's about to get ugly over here, right? But it wasn't as bad as I thought. I mean, it wasn't. You take away the sickness, you take away, the beer bug. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. My biggest complaint again is when he took those guys off the ground his administration removed those people in China, which would have given us a little bit more of a heads up, and maybe we could have handled things better. That absolutely, I hold that administration responsible for that, and I hold the Trump administration responsible for beginning the pullout in Afghanistan. They got the ball rolling, and but it's 100% Biden's fault for letting it continue the way it did. They should have paused that. They should have come up with a better way to exfil from the Middle East. Should have did a better job of that. Absolutely should have done a better job. That was horrible. And I'm not going to sit there and say, well, it was the previous administration's fault. Like, no, they got the ball rolling, but the Biden administration should have done a better job. They should have corrected. They should have course corrected, should have listened to the Pentagon, listened to the generals on the ground. This is how we need to do it. To leave all that money, to leave all that equipment, to leave all that ammo, to leave all that stuff behind, that was absolutely wrong. That was absolutely wrong. So, Doug, the intel was out there, though. I knew about the bug in December 2019, months before it was made known here. Yeah, the intel was out there. It was out there. But and my point being this, to have it from the official sources, like these guys were on the ground, they've been there for a while, they knew the landscape, they knew it was coming. And maybe those are the people who leaked it so it could get to you and to regular folks in 2019. Maybe they leaked it like, yo, this is what's going on. This is what we were watching. This is probably what it was. So that's definitely what that's my take on that. So my final thoughts on Donald Trump is this, right? The dude's playing the game the way it's never been played before, right? That's Richie Rich. Think about it. This guy lost $500 million in today's money. I think it was, like $500 million. He lost that. Then he was out there doing commercials for restaurants and whatever. You know what I mean? He was pretty much the laughing stock to the one percenters. And then here come two Hollywood producers with an idea for a TV show about this washed up guy who was like the laughing stock of the business world. And you're going to apprentice for this. You're going to be the apprentice to this guy, right? And that he shook back with that show. With that show, bam. And that's what got him into the office. That show. And those guys that put him on there as a joke later on were like, oh my God, we created Frankenstein. Yes, y'all did. But he got that money back. Lost $500 million, was out there selling commercials, man. He's doing commercials for Carl's Jr. and stuff like that, trying to get enough money to move from one day to the next. And then bam, he does The Apprentice, shakes back, get all that money back in the end some. All that money came back, bro. Gotta respect that. Ack, what's up, Dale, bro? The deep state did not want to leave. Nah, you're right. The deep state did not want. You're right. You're right. And Doug is agreeing too. They were willing to sabotage the exit for maximum embarrassment. Okay. I'm not even going to argue with that, bro. I'm not a big conspiracy guy. But hey, man, I got to tell you, there was something going on. There was something going on. Definitely something in the mix. Something in the mix, man. So, yeah, definitely something in the mix. So I'm with you on that, bro. But Donald Trump came in, he lost all that money. He shook back, he got all that bread back, right? Then he started losing money again. And he was like, you know what? I think I'll run for president. I think I'll do it. And I'm one of those people that believe he did not want the job. He simply wanted the clout. He wanted the media coverage. He wanted to be in the limelight so he can make more money. I think that's what he wanted to do. I think he was just as shocked as everybody else. There's that picture, and I should have had it up, and I don't want to take the time to go look for it now, but there's that picture of election night when they announced Donald Trump won the election. Everybody's jumping up in the picture except for one person. One person was sitting there looking at the TV screen in shock, and that was Richie Rich. Donald J. Trump himself was looking at the TV screen like, oh my God. I don't think he wanted the job. You know what I mean? I don't think he wanted the job. Obama motivated him. Yeah, well, I guess he did. And again, I think it was all smoke and mirrors. I think for Trump, it was just money. It was free pub. And he was getting out there and he was getting it. And he was getting more deals and everybody wanted to holler at him. He was getting money on top of money on top of money. Then he won the election. It was like, oopsie. But then he realized, you know what? I can even make more money. And he pushed the limits. Supposed to give up control of your business, man. While you're president, you're supposed to do that. Everyone else has done that, but it's not a law. But everyone's done it. That's the rule. You should do it. He's like, yeah, I kind of did it. Kind of quasi did it. Getting money. Trump Towers getting money. Naming a price. People from all over the world paying. You got countries coming over. I need to talk to Donald Trump. Hey, go Trump Towers, bro. He was getting that bread. It is what it is, man. Would I have done that? Probably not. But boy, oh boy, he ain't had no problems getting that bread. Doug, if you follow the money, some things that were deemed conspiracy were true. Yeah. Always follow the money, player. Always follow the money. Both sides of the law follows the money. The feds follow the money, and the D boys, like, you know what I'm saying? Them hit crews follow the money. Everybody follow the money, right? They following the money right now in LA. If y'all in LA, be careful showing your money, because there's somebody out there looking. There's teams out there. Them boys is hungry, and they looking. You on Rodeo trying to do your little Instagram or whatever, walking out with all your bags, jumping into your exotic. You might not make it home with them bags. I mean, they ain't going to try to bother you, but they going to take your bags. They taking them chains. They taking them watches. They taking them bags. You know what I'm saying? So y'all need to get on y'all tippy toes out there. You know what I'm saying? The streets is watching, right? Ain't no rules right now. The gloves are off. Them boys out there trying to get it. And if you showing it on your Instagram, they coming to see you. I'm just letting you know. That's why I'm out here in Florida. But yeah, he got that money back, man. And then he left office. He beat all of the stuff they was trying to get him. He left office, whatever, right? And we know he done did some things. They can't pin it to him. Gotta respect it. Gotta respect it. Media says conspiracy money trails says otherwise. Yeah, I feel you, Doug. And maybe we'll do that, man. Maybe one day, man. I'll hit up a conspiracy person and kind of do a show when I'm talking about that conspiracy, and I'll listen to what they're saying, and then we'll compare notes. Like, this is what I found, and see what they found, and kind of compare notes and see what's going on. You know what I mean? Because you hear about Illuminati and all that kind of stuff, man. Again, smoke and mirrors. At the end of the day, have yachts and have nots. You want to be with the have yachts, y'all. That's all I'm saying. Get your money right. Get your credit right. Figure out how to move. I'm not saying move exactly like Trump, but figure out how to move in them circles like Trump, right? Because the money he gets to do his projects ain't his money. He always working with somebody else's money, right? And I don't even know what happened with Deutsche Bank? I don't know what happened with that. I believe there was something there. Deutsche Bank was the only bank willing to do business with Donald Trump, and there were ties to the Russian oligarchs. So I don't know, because, and I've been looking for information on that. So I don't know how that shook out. I don't know. But that was going on. And then Doug, he follows up. He's like, yeah, some of that conspiracy stuff is crazy, though. It is. It's smoke and mirrors, man. You could turn loose anybody who got, a little crazy in them, and just give them enough leash. That's what KS does, right? That's what my men do on my man Fresh and Myron do on their podcast. They sit back and just let the ladies talk, right? It's just eventually up. Here comes the crazy, right? When you let somebody talk, it is what it is, and then you can use that against them. There's a lot of chicks that go on that show, man. It's like, oh man, they're just dumb bimbos. Like, they just walked into a trap, walked into an ambush. It is what it is, and it's every night, right? Every night. I don't feel bad for you. If you go on Kevin Samuel's show and you're a female, he gonna make you look stupid. It is what it is. But people, they line up for that. Deutsche got played by him. That was the last bank. Then ain't nobody gonna do any more business with him. That's it. And again, that's why I say don't move exactly like Trump, because he burned too many bridges. Now he don't have access to the big money. He gonna have to get somebody to front for him to get the money from these banks now, and they don't care. Just like, yeah, come on, we all know money just made up anyway. They just print it. You know what I mean? Like, it ain't. It is what it is. So I wouldn't move exactly like Trump, but I would definitely move in them circles. Figure out ways to secure your assets over liabilities. You know what I mean? Make sure you do that. Quit wasting your money on BS. Like, I know people be in the club popping bottles and all that, but that's business expenses, man. They writing that stuff off. People buying those G-Wagons. Like, why are people buying them G-Wagons? Because they can write off 100% the cost of that vehicle because of the tax laws, bro. So why pay $300,000 in taxes or whatever it is when you can just buy a G-Wagon and write that off that tax year? Why not? You write it off that tax year and you turn around and sell that G-Wagon a couple years later for $200,000. You done wrote off the whole value. You done wrote off 100% of the value of that vehicle, and you turn around and sell that vehicle for $200,000. You done paid your taxes and you got $200,000. Look, man, I hope I get to the point where I'm making them kind of moves. That's what I'm trying to get. Miss AK lady, what do you got to say? You would be crazy to take out a loan for Trump. Consider that a gift. Thank you. You would be crazy. You would be crazy. You would be crazy to do business with Trump and think you're going to get paid later. If I'm dealing with someone like Donald Trump, I need my money up front. I got to have it now, period. And then we cool. But I ain't going to no, you ain't going to hit me like Wimpy. I'll pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today. Nah, bro, I'm going to need that money right now. You know what I mean? So yeah, I ain't got a problem with Donald J. Trump. I'm looking at what he's doing. I'm looking at how he's moving. You know what I mean? He still sit down on a gold throne every time he got to take a dump. I don't. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, I'm going to watch this case closely. If he beats this case, y'all, I'm being 100. If he beats this case, I will contribute to his campaign, and I will actually campaign for Donald J. Trump, a.k.a. Richie Rich, just a little bit, because I got to respect that hustle. So, all right, that's all I had to say. So my friend out there from 2nd Battalion, 75th Ranger Battalion, if you're out there, bro, again, hit me up on Instagram, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I would love to talk to you. I would love to hear what you got to say about the libs and the blacks. I would love to hear that. You know what I mean? And we can share some more stories as well, bro. Absolutely. And if you a troll, it is what it is. Thanks for coming through. You know what I mean? I appreciate the love no matter what. Thanks for everybody who came in here. Act Ozzy, we got Doug, we got Miss AK. For everybody who stopped in, needs watches, you know, Kennard came through. Like anybody got missed, y'all, I love all y'all, man. Thank y'all so much. Let's see, Miss AK, the stories from his contractors are just sad. It's cold how he do people. Yeah, it is sad. You know what I mean? It is what it is. It's business, man. They playing for real. That's hardball. They ain't playing. You know what I mean? You think that's all? You should see how it goes in the street, my love. It's brutal in the street. You know what I mean? People taking your last, they will take the last $5 out your kid pocket. You know what I mean? So yeah, people like Trump, they gonna get over. They gonna push the boundaries and to the point where they don't even care about the boundaries no more. They just like, whatever, catch me if you can, like the gingerbread man. Right? And they can't catch him. So thanks for the love. I am DL Saint. This is the I Really Want to Know podcast. Thanks for hanging out with me, y'all. I'm gonna talk to y'all later. Peace.